All right. Good evening, everybody. As we slowly open the doors here at the UVT Intro to Voiceover class, um, Rob's here, co-host. Sean will be helping moderate, and we're going to talk all things voiceover. And we really appreciate you taking time out of your Wednesday evening to be with a couple goons like us. We're always flattered when people want to spend time with us. Rob, I'm always just happy that someone wants to listen to us.
Wow, we've got one.
I know
No,
we
no,
never
it's not like
we
that.
you know where we don't get out of our studios very often, and it's this kind of sometimes is our social life, and we do appreciate everybody coming by. Rob, I did tweet out about 5 minutes ago if anybody had any extra questions, they could call you at 1 a.m. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be happy to answer those.
Because nobody trolls from X.
No. Oh God. Oh, are you still on X?
Oh yeah, I'm on that. Yeah. Well, I mean, no.
The platform formerly known as Twitter?
I don't want anybody to know that I'm on there. No, it's I don't use it very. LinkedIn is where I get a lot of voiceover clients. We'll talk about
Yeah.
that in a minute. So I like to
LinkedIn is
use
just so
I
much
I like
safer.
to use platforms that are fun but also good for business, if you know what I'm saying. So hey, everybody that's coming into the room, do us a big favor in the chat area. Tell us where you're watching and listening from. We'd like to learn a little bit more about you and where you're coming from. And by the way, whenever you have a voiceover related question, you can type it in the chat area. Sean will be collecting the questions, and we'll do a little Q&A towards the end of the class. And we'll do what we're also going to do. Let me find, I got to get that in here. 1 second here. So in about 10 minutes or so, if you want to be a volunteer performer, we're going to do a little coaching with just like a few of you, just to kind of show you not only how Rob and I coach, but to also show you how important it is to get feedback from somebody other than your second cousin on your commercial reads. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And I'm going to paste the link. It's this long, wonky link. There it is right there. That's where you can grab the script. It's a short Fritos script, Scoops. Rob likes to smoke a little weed and eat a few bags of Fritos every Wednesday night.
A few bags.
No. All right, stand by. Rob, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this wonderful business, how you got started and how you just found VO.
Um, I was living in LA all of my life, and I worked at an amusement park there for a long time, and uh, was an engineer, an audio engineer, a sound guy for live shows and bands and stuff like that. And there was always a need for a voiceover for some announcement that you needed to do. And so I got very comfortable just talking on mic, saying the same things, please stand and move to the center of the theater and blah,
Oh,
blah, blah.
sure, yeah.
And every business I worked for after that, it was like a production company or a video media production company, and they always needed voiceovers. So I was always just volunteering. And then it just like it hit me like, why am I not doing this on my own and making money on my own instead of being just an underpaid voiceover for a company that I work for? And so I switched gears and started doing this full time for myself and never looked back.
That's awesome. Well, that's Rob Marley. I'm Terry Daniel. I've been a voice actor, coach for many, many years. I got my start in about 1989, and my first commercial was a Country Kitchen commercial, which was Country Kitchen was a breakfast chain way back when, kind of like Denny's, Perkins, if you're familiar with those. And that's where I kind of got really excited to be a part of this industry because Rob, it only takes one booking and then that's all you want to do because it gets you all excited. And oh, by the way, keep your mics muted. I think somebody gave their dog their microphone. That's what it sounds like. Please keep your mics muted until we put you on microphone to read a script or answer one of your questions. We'd really appreciate that. So that's where I got started. I also have a radio background in alternative rock and smooth jazz and some sports and news and a little bit of that. And also did theater for a little bit more than a decade and did a couple dozen plays. So I've always been in kind of performance mode in one way or another. And then I got old and lazy, and I did wanted to do nothing but talk behind a microphone at home and not go anywhere, Rob. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of actually learning how to do voiceover before you go and buy like a bunch of recording gear. Or I always see people signing up for Fiverr or Voice 123, these big cattle call audition sites that are on there, and those are fine, but it's really important. And this is something that I don't think people talk about enough. It's really important that you learn the skills. You learn how to actually read and interpret these scripts, whether it's radio or TV commercials, video game characters, e learning, explainer video narration, IVR prompts, podcast promos, radio imaging spots. There's a reason that when you hear, like, for example, like a national TV spot, there's a reason it sounds so effortless. I mean, these are big time pros doing big time national gigs, and you kind of hear it and you're going, God, it just sounds so easy when I'm watching this commercial. And then if you don't have any experience and you pick up a script and you try to read the same thing that some of these national voice actors read, uh, Rob, not always as easy as it looks on paper.
Yeah, it's amazing how challenging it can actually be when you understand that it's more than just reading the words and hoping that somebody hands you a check. Like there's a lot more to it, and you don't realize that until you're starting to get into it, and yeah, when you have to dissect a sentence nine different ways, you start to understand. Oh wait, it's more than just saying having a nice voice.
It is, and it's it's interesting because with voiceover, it's kind of burnout free because once you really get going and you start getting a few clients, every week is different. It's not like working the same job every week, right? And whether you love your job or you can't stand your job or you're just plain sick of it, which I can't blame you for if you've been a part of it for 30 or 40 years. But voiceover's burnout free because one week you might be working on some commercials and maybe a fun explainer video narration where maybe you get to play an animated donkey teaching kids math. I mean, it's all over the flippin' place. I don't know why I'm saying flippin'. I have the mouth of a sailor, but when we do these classes, it's like watching The Breakfast Club on TNT. It's like it's just edited to death. But yeah, it's different, and maybe the second week out of the month you're doing theme park promos or radio imaging. We're going to hear some samples from some radio imaging demos that we produced a little bit later on. So uh, the really the key to getting started is really doing as much research as you possibly can to find out if this is really something that you want to do. And, Rob and I have been voice actors for a very long time, and we've seen a lot of interesting stuff online. There's really good information in blogs and classes and webinars. But really, in the last like 7 or 8 years, there's been a flurry of, snake oil ads on Facebook that are promising you, 6-figure income after taking their weekend class. They're talking about make big money with your voice. Rob, it's always about the money, and they never talk about skill ever.
Absolutely. Because that's it's all about enticing people in. Everybody knows that people want to make money, right? So that's what you reach for, the thing that is easy to work with, easy to manipulate, and say you're going to make money really fast, or be a professional voice actor, and then they show pictures of top name talent in a high end recording studio, but it takes a lot of effort to get to that point, and that they're selling the dream, and sending, and you sending them a check. That's how it works.
And I'm not a big fan of some of these ads. I don't know if it's Casting Club or something else. They always, in their ad, they always put um, a job that somebody booked for like a really high amount of money when the average fee might be like 75 or $100 that somebody might make getting a job on there. But, for the first time in 5 years, they actually got a gig where they paid somebody $1,500. And then they put that in the ad, of course, making it sound like you can make that every single time. So, getting to the point, we're not here to sit and bash our competition or anything, but just be very leery of what you're finding online because there's just, be very careful and not slip on the snake oil because there's a lot of empty promises where people want thousands and thousands of dollars, and then you show, you buy this training and it's like a 2 hour pre-recorded class where you can find the same information on YouTube, that kind of thing. So, in other words, stick with Rob and I because we're geniuses.
We know everything.
We know absolutely everything. Well, we do have 35 years of experience, and you know what the interesting part of that is Rob and I are still learning. There's always something in our delivery that we can improve. There's no such thing as the perfect voice actor. There's no such thing as Captain Voiceover, where every single script that comes across your desk, you're going to execute it to perfection. There's always a way that even people like Rob and I can get better after doing it for so many years. By the way, if you have questions, go ahead and type them in the chat area because Sean, our award-winning moderator, is going to gather those questions, and we'll ask a few a little bit later on. But you know what I would like to do, since we have that script in there, I think, try a couple things. Let's do a little voiceover coaching. There's a
Yeah.
link in the chat to the scripts, and what you need to do if you want to be a volunteer reader, just go ahead and raise the virtual hand in your Zoom window there, and then we will try to call upon you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave the screen share temporarily because people just love having that slide up, I bet. But Rob, are you ready to do a little coaching?
I'm ready. Let's do it. You pick it. I'll critique it.
All right, cool. And Sean, for those of you that got in here a little late and you're saying, well, where the hell's the script? Sean just put the link. It's that really long, obnoxious link in the chat, and that'll get you to a Fritos ad. And we're going to unmute Michael Stubbs' mic and bring him in. Michael, good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Hey, Michael, how's it
How you
going,
doing,
man?
sir?
Hey, it's going very good, guys. It's going very good. Thank you for this.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
let's hear your read on this. Playful, silly, high energy. Let's see what you got.
Okay, great. Let me clear my throat. Warning. Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly, you're stacking salsa like a deer and winning. No cracks, no splits, just crunchy little champions doing the most. Frito scoops, the only chip that believes in you.
That's pretty good copy. Did you write
Yeah.
this, Terry? This is pretty good.
I did, yeah. By the way, I love Michael's voice. He's got a great voice.
Yeah, good
Michael,
resonance.
we want
on
you to
this.
do it again now with a big smile on your face and just have a little bit more fun. Should be fun and silly. You shouldn't take it so serious. It sounds a little bit like you're doing a hospital commercial, but your voice is great. You've got big pipes. I just want to see a little more fun and silliness to it. Would you agree with that, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. Michael, you laughed on that line, just crunchy little champions doing the most, and I think that was because you genuinely laughed. But
I
it sounded good in the context of what you're talking about, and that gives it personality. And I always tell my students, it's personality that wins the job. So keep that vibrant, fun energy alive, and let me hear it through the whole thing. Not laugh through the whole thing, but give it good energy.
Okay, let's go for take two.
Yep, take two.
Warning. Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly, you're stacking salsa like a deer and winning. No cracks, no splits, just crunchy little champions doing the most. Frito scoops, the only chip that believes in you.
I liked it. See, the smile that you were giving it sounded really good. That sounded honest, even though we know it's not. But I mean, you did a great job on that. Good adjustment, good personality to it. You know, if I were working with you as if I was like a booth director and working with you on this on a real job, you know, we'd nitpick it a few million more ways, but that's a good solid foundation right there for a good delivery. That was a nice job, nicely done.
And the nice part about reading a commercial script, I mean, let's say, and then we'll use Michael just for an example here. But let's say Michael booked this gig in a live directed session with a client. This is how you get a client for life. If you can nail these reads before the 60-minute directed session is up, you've got a client for life. Most of my live sessions, because I don't really get directed very aggressively, because I've worked with a lot of these clients for years and we know what to expect from one another. So it's really, even though they have me booked for an hour, a lot of times, especially for a script like this, it's literally like a 15-minute session. And, you know, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of coaching, a lot of experience to get to that level. But where the red flags can present themselves, if you're on take number 78 and you've got 2 minutes to go before the session expires, you know, that can be a problem. And Rob, that's why coaching is such a vital part to having a chance to succeed.
The coaching helps you to understand what a trained ear is listening for. You know, like when you're giving a read, you don't really. I mean, you may have an idea of what it should sound like, but when you're working with a coach, he can say or she can say exactly what works and what doesn't work, and how to adjust your voice to get it that way. And that just saves you so much time. You know, you avoid all the struggles that first time or beginner voice artists make because you've got a professional person telling you what to do. It's like if I wanted to be in the PGA, if I wanted to compete as a golfer, I could probably watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to swing a golf club and how to chip and how to putt and all that stuff. But until I've got a professional standing there watching me swing and telling me why I suck and how to fix it, I'm not gonna get better, you know? And that's what it is. You need a professional to be able to point out what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong and how to make it better.
Absolutely. Well, let's bring Catherine in. Catherine's going to be our next performer. I've unmuted your mic. We're still getting feedback.
That's probably that's probably them.
Yeah, that
Or
sounded kind
not.
of.
Yeah, because see, you unmuted it, you muted it, and now it went away. So I think it's just feeding back from her
Oh, maybe
mic.
it is. All right, Catherine, are you with us?
You got to unmute her now. Still muted. Hang on,
Yeah, let's get her unmuted.
Catherine, unmute yourself.
Go ahead and try to unmute
Okay,
yourself.
got it.
There we
There
go.
she is. All right.
All right.
Yay! All
Hello,
right.
everybody.
Hello.
Catherine, welcome to the party. We really appreciate you being here. Let's hear your kind of fun, energetic, silly self perform this script, and then we'll give you some feedback afterwards.
Rightio. Now, where will I find the script, please?
It's
Oh,
the
this.
link in the chat window.
Yeah, let me. Oh, here it is again.
And while we're finding that, Catherine, what part of Ireland are you from?
Aren't you quick to spot an accent? I'm from County Cork.
I have family from Cork, so I thought I sounded familiar to me.
That's
Yes, I'm
fantastic.
from West Cork. I'm very proud of it, but I live
Very
in
nice.
Canada now.
Well, thank you
Good
for
for you.
being here. This is what's one of our favorite things about doing this class is just, you know, people all over the world will come to these intro classes, and it's just been so much fun getting to know and
Yeah.
hear many of you too, especially read you. You have the script now, Catherine, from the link?
Now, where is the link, please? Forgive
It's
my
Oh,
ineptitude.
it's right
it's
in the
the
chat area.
look
You
in
know,
the chat window,
Yeah.
and you'll see there's a link from Sean and a link from Terry, and you should see those, and just click on the link, and that should open the file.
Okay. I'm in the chat now. And there's 34.
Scroll all the way down.
I'm going to mute Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine.
we're going to
Scroll
give
down.
her.
It's at the bottom there. Let's grab another person, and
Yeah, we're
when
going to
she
give her
gets
some
it,
time to
we'll
find
do
the
it.
script. We'll bring Jim Berger in
Mr. Burger,
to perform.
Hey, how
Mr.
we doing, guys?
Berger, how are you,
how's
Yes.
it
sir?
going, man?
Right here.
All right,
Jim,
you know the drill. You know what we're doing. Give
Yes.
it to us.
give
Oh.
we want to be
Let's see what I can
hungry
do
for
with it.
Fritos, Jim. Go for it.
Warning. Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly, you're stacking salsa like a dare and winning. No cracks, no spills, just crunchy little champions doing the most. Frito scoops, the only chip that believes in you.
All right. Well, I love Jim's voice. It sounded a little more like it sounded a little bit more like a news bulletin, Jim. Oh, somebody, Sean, can you find out who keeps unmuting
Hey,
their
Matt,
mic?
I think it might be you. Hang on.
That
There we go.
feedback is just bad.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Jim, great
Yes.
voice. It sounded a little bit like a news bulletin to me, and I want you to just open things up and just make it more fun. Scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly you're stacking salsa
Okay.
like a dare
Yeah.
and winning. No cracks, no spills, just crunchy little champions doing the most. Frito Scoops. You don't have to go as high as I'm going, but
I don't think most people can go as high as you're going.
yeah,
I'm a baritone, not a tenor. So let me
could
try
go
it again.
get
Yeah,
pretty
just
up
make it
there.
a little quicker in the delivery. Don't give the dramatic pauses and push too much on the drama. But I like the personality. Just give it a little quicker read.
Okay. Warning, Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly, you're stacking salsa like a dare and winning. No cracks, no spills, just crunchy little champions doing the most. Frito scoops, the only chip that believes in you.
All right. That was all right. It was too fast that time. You went the opposite end of that. But that was nicely done. I'm hearing a lot of announcer tone to your voice. You got a classic. I mean, it starts with the warning, so you kind of get into that
Yeah.
like Walter Cronkite kind of this just in kind of thing. And that's fine, but I think starting that way is good, but I think it needs to kind of break character and get more personality driven in the middle of it. But you're getting there. I thought that was a good adjustment, and it was good. I was just a little too quick on that one. But nicely done.
All right, let's get back to Catherine and see if she has the script. Catherine, can you join us again? Gotta
Where'd
unmute
Catherine
your mic.
I don't see her in
Maybe
the.
Catherine has stepped away. Why don't let's go to Tina Walsh. We'll get
No,
back to
I have
her.
not
Oh,
stepped
there
away.
she is. There she is.
Oh,
I'm still trying to find the wretched script.
okay. We'll
Oh,
mute you again.
okay.
I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
else to say. It's in the chat area. Maybe Sean can
If you can
help her
click
with
Catherine,
that.
Catherine, do you see a button that says chat at the bottom of your screen when you hover over your screen somewhere with your mouse?
She muted herself again.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
we'll give her some time to get that. Let's go. Yeah, Tina Walsh is here and she's ready to go.
Tina.
Tina, good evening.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm hungry for Fritos. At least you're going to make me hungry for Fritos
Yeah.
with your stellar performance.
Script is giving me the
right.
munchies.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Do you have any questions about performance, Tina, or do you got a pretty handle on this?
Went over it in my head a couple of times. I think I'll give it a go.
All
Sounds
right.
Great. And then after Tina, we'll go back to talking about some other stuff and taking questions. We do want to play a demo sampler for you coming up in a couple minutes as well. So then and then we'll come back a little bit later on and take a couple more volunteers. So Tina, let's hear it.
Okay. Warning. Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly you're stacking salsa like a dare and winning. No cracks, no spills, just crunchy little champions doing the most. Frito scoops, the only chip that believes in you.
Wow. I wouldn't change much on that. I think that was really nice. It was great energy. Playful. I don't know about silly, but I mean, it was a good playful tone to it, very friendly, outgoing, welcoming. As I look at it now, I realize there's a million different ways that you could say that last line. The only chip that believes in you. The only chip that believes in you. The only chip that believes in you. You know, there's a million ways to say
Right.
it. But you know, this would be something that if this were an audition, I would give at least two takes that said the line differently, unless you know that this is like, maybe you could do some research on the company and maybe that's their slogan that they always use. Go to YouTube, find their old commercial and figure out how they say it that way, and then mimic it, and that's the way to do it. But honestly, I wouldn't change much about that. I would add, if anything, a little more personality, a little more spunkiness to
Yeah,
to the playfulness.
a little more caffeine to the read, I think. I think we should have
Yeah.
Tina do one more take.
Yeah, well, let's do one more, little spunkier, little perkier, little caffeinated. Ah, you're muted. I can see you were going to town, but it was muted.
Okay, is she back with us?
I see she's still muted.
Tina, let's
Am
see.
I
There we
back?
go.
Oh,
Now
you're
you're
back.
back.
Know how that? Okay, I'm back.
All right,
no
hit it.
problem. Yeah, just go ahead. Take two.
Warning! Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly you're sorry, take two. Warning! Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly you're stacking salsa like a dare and winning. No cracks, no spills, just crunchy little champions doing the most. Frito scoops, the only chip that believes in you.
I like it. It sounded quite animated. I was starting to imagine that there's an animated character in the commercial.
Yeah, totally. I heard a character there. That was fun. That was great. And it's such a night and day difference from the first take that you did. That, honestly, again, that would be something I would give two takes to the client. One the way you want it, or the way you think they want it, and one maybe just slightly larger than life, or something completely different, because it's those little things that show the biggest range in your vocal styles, and that's what is appealing to a lot of producers.
What's
So
awesome
good job on
too,
that.
like for those of you that like are on like pay to play audition sites, unless the client has told you that they only want one take. I mean, I do a lot of casting calls where the client wants one take, but I do casting calls where, hey, go ahead and just drop three or four, and there's clients
Yeah.
on the pay to play too. So I mean, definitely take advantage of that because they may not hear the magic in your first or even second take, but they might hear something special in that third or fourth take. So if the client allows it, or for those of you that are fortunate to get on talent agency rosters later on in your career, if your agent allows it, definitely. I mean, you don't have to sit there and record like 15 takes, that would be a little extreme, but definitely if they allow it, definitely do like 2 to 3 takes. All
Or,
right.
or at the very least, do like an ABC on the tagline.
Yeah, oh, yeah, perfect.
And I think that's a great idea. That you could leave that in one take and then just do a three in a row, or ABC on the last line, read three different ways, just to show your range. I think that's a good way to go, especially if the spot is short.
Yeah, and don't send 3 separate MP3s. Put
God,
all
no.
3 of your takes on one MP3.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do here, we're going to play a sampler of different demos that we've done here at UVT. Everything from commercial to video game character to radio imaging demo. The reason we want to play this for you is because we haven't really talked that much about demos yet. But once you actually work with a coach and you get your script skills up to par, having a demo is really important. It's kind of like, imagine being like an on-camera actor. You would send your reel over to agents and clients of your work. And it's the same way with voiceover. A voiceover demo is about 5 to 6 clips showing your skill set, range, and versatility. Talent agents require it 100%. There's a lot of production directors that require it. It's honestly, it's a little, I don't want to say it's impossible to make a great living without a demo, but honestly, Rob, I mean, your demo is your number one marketing calling card, and you have to have something to send them. Just like if you're a photographer, chances are you're probably going to send people samples of your work.
Absolutely. If you're an actor, it's the headshot.
Yeah.
It's the thing that sells you when you're not online. So that's what you need, is something that shows. I mean, it's a demonstration, hence the name demo. It's a demonstration of your skills that you can show to a potential client why they should hire you. That's what it's all about.
and I want you to listen for a few different things. And this will be like a 4-minute like sampler here, but I think it's important that you hear not only all the different genres on these demos, but I want you to hear the variety. Like, for example, a voice actor by the name of Rebecca Lee, who has gone on to do huge national brands. She's an absolute voiceover superstar. She'll be on the first few clips of what I'm about to play, and then that will go into Tom Cat, who's a terrific video game character actor. I want you to listen to how they transition from one performance to the next. Obviously, you'll be able to tell it's their voices, but the different kinds of performances are absolutely mind-blowing. Let's take a listen.
The grins and giggles they let out as soon as the lotion touches their skin are magical. Soft skin with so many smiles. Aveeno Baby Lotion. At Trader Joe's, we know quality and price are both equally important, which is why you get the best of both when you shop with us. Trader Joe's. Why settle for biting into a chocolate-covered cherry when we've given you the chance to drink one? Sexual Chocolate Red. Available at Total Wine.
We've lost too many to just give up. We must keep fighting if we want to live in a world free of this evil and hate. Who's with me?
War is horrific. It will change your life in ways you cannot imagine. Being prepared for battle is one thing, boys, but being excited for it is a feeling you should never have. You heed these words and you never forget them.
Immerse your life in the sound you love.
Here we go, let's go.
Next level spatial audio that hits from every direction. Era 300 connects you to your music like never before. Feel the sound all around, now at Sonos.com. Wait, hold up. Extreme Sport Ice? No. Try this. Go ahead. Take a whiff. Right? Vanilla and coconut. Native all-natural products for body, hair, and skin leave you feeling clean, fresh, and smelling like real things. It's not a mystery. It's native.
My daddy always said that the trick to taming a wild horse was mutual respect and patience.
Of course, Daddy got kicked in the head a couple times by an impatient, disrespectful horse, so there's that.
Ah, there you are. I've been waiting. You really thought you could stop me, darling? I wrote the plan you're trying to unravel. Now kneel and watch your little world crumble.
Gotham's always been the battlefield. But criminals like you thrive on fear. Well, not tonight. Tonight, you're outmatched. This is where justice takes over.
It's the little things in life that really matter, I tell you what. The constant belly rubs and ear scratches. And oh boy, the food that Timmy drops me from the kitchen table at dinner time. Oh, what a life.
We love the music.
If it's the greatest hits you hear in the car, it can only be Q105 FM, Atlanta's best music. Listen to the Eagle weekdays for a chance to win $1,000. $1,000.
Enter a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo right here that basically says the same thing. Just listen to the Eagle Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. for a chance to win $1,000. Void where prohibited. Your mileage may vary. Don't forget to floss and eat your vegetables.
Let's go!
Hits are us.
Number 1.
99.5. The Mix. On your Echo, or in your car, online, or on your phone. Take Mix 92 wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app.
What kind of music do you usually have here?
Oh, we got both kinds. We got country and western.
Atlanta's #1 station for both kinds of music. New Country 101.5.
Every song like totally rocks.
It's awesome.
It's all about my kind of music.
My kind of music.
Today's hottest hits, Hot 95.
Say my name.
DJ Zero.
Spinning, I don't know, whatever he wants.
KFlipCamp.org.
According to this poll, worst candy for Halloween isn't candy corn. It's actually Peeps.
Well, that's because that's an Easter candy, duh.
Jenny and Tony, mornings. Magic 105.3.
All right, there it is. And
Nicely
could you
done.
tell I was really playing it on a cassette?
I was kind of entranced by the spinning reels there for a minute.
I was
Yeah.
really tripping out, and I'm not smoking anything, and I just kept looking at the cassette, and I was like all weirded out. So we played that for you because we want to show you what a marketable professional demo sounds like, and all of these talents have gone on to do huge things, and it's an important part of being in business, just like we said earlier, where if you're an on-camera actor, you would send your reel to somebody, and if you don't have any experience, you have people kind of help you with a reel of you playing different characters, or maybe in a different scene, something to show the talent agent or the client. So yeah, I mean, these are all great talents, and Rob, I have a blast producing these, and you have a blast producing the radio imaging demos. But
Oh yeah.
I'd have to say the video game character demo is probably my favorite to put together. It's just, it's like building an audio storyboard.
That's exactly it.
That's what it feels like.
That's what I love doing with radio imaging. You've got the same idea that you're telling a story with the sounds, with the background music, with the atmosphere. What mood is it trying to set? With radio imaging, I'm trying to grab the listener's attention, and I'm using, effects, and I'm doubling the voice, and I'm adding choruses and compressing and all this stuff. But all of that is to make it audibly interesting and not sound like everything else, and grab their attention. And it's the same idea. You're telling a story, and you're piecing something together and building a production. And I love that side of it too. I love producing. I love the editing side of it.
What's interesting too about radio imaging spots is, during a time when that genre maybe started to maybe fizzle just a little bit, but boom, here comes podcast promos.
Oh yeah.
It's just like there's always something that'll kind of come along and replace a genre that might be just slipping a little bit, because I've been booked for a lot of podcast promo stuff, not just intros and outros, but doing, Rob, some of these imaging spots in the middle of somebody's podcast, just like a radio show.
It's exactly the same thing. You're trying to grab attention for a moment, just to get the listener to say, hey, pay attention to this, and now back to the show, without it being a big commercial break. And there's a fine art to it, but it's fun to do. And absolutely, I mean, radio imaging is one thing, but podcast intros and outros and the bumpers and all that stuff that go with it, there's a great business there.
Why don't we go to Sean and see if we have a question or two in the chat area? We'll take a little break and answer a couple questions. Sean, do you got something for us?
Well, there's one that I kind of answered, but Adam was asking, do you guys produce demos for all different genres, including animated shows and character demos?
Yeah, we do. We pretty much do it all. I mean, I've every week I'm doing something different, like a commercial demo. Next week, I've got a couple character demos I have to put together. But yeah, we do a lot of character stuff. And actually, Garnett Williams, who's one of the coaches for UVT, I would have to say that he's probably our best character coach. So for those of you that are looking to get into character work, and by the way, character work is really broad. It doesn't always mean voicing a cartoon character. You got to broaden your horizons just a little bit, because we have a great and hot genre right now called explainer video narration. And when you hear those words, sometimes it can sound a little boring. You might think it's really corporate-y, or maybe something medical or techy. But there's a ton of explainer video projects where they want voices for animated characters, like teaching kids math, or talking about bike safety. There's a ton of that stuff out there right now where you could voice a gorilla, teaching kids who have trouble with math, anything to kind of keep their attention. So there's a lot of animated work in explainer video, believe it or not. So the genre part is kind of interesting, because when people start out, some people really kind of hone in on what they want to do. But, I would, if you're going to take voice acting seriously, I would go into this with an open mind, and just be open to trying everything, because honestly, you don't really know what you're going to be good at if you have no experience. I worked with a guy on medical narration for about 6 months because that's what he paid me to coach him with. That's all he wanted to do. In fact, he kind of fought me on it one day when I say, "Hey, John, let's try a couple character scripts just to mix things up. I mean, aren't you bored with these medical scripts?" And he wouldn't do it at first. And he's like, "All right, I'll try it. I'll try it." And it was amazing. He ended up doing so well that he actually went on to book more animation work than he did medical. And Rob, this was like a skill. I don't know if it was insecurity or nobody believed in his talent, or maybe people made fun of him when he was a kid. I mean, I got plenty of that when I was a kid, but sometimes you have that that talent hidden deep inside your soul somewhere.
I think it just comes down to you don't know what you're going to be good at until you start doing it. Like when I first got into voiceover, I thought I wanted to do audiobooks. Like I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I don't get to tell stories and read books and people hand me money. But then I realized, no, I hate doing audiobooks. It sucks. I don't want to do audiobooks.
I want the attention span.
I want the most amount of money for the least amount of work, and that is not audiobooks. I mean, I'm just being honest. But I mean, you don't know what you're going to be good at it. You don't know what you're going to like until you start doing it. Maybe you're really good with medical narration and you can read complicated medical terms really well. Or maybe you went to school and know science. So it makes you great for narration and science related things. It's, you find the genres as you go through it. And you don't know at the start.
Well, and audiobooks is definitely it's not everybody's love language. I have too much ADD for audiobooks, and I make just as much money doing theme park promos. So, I'm on a couple of retainers for theme park promos. And the issue with like audiobook, for those of you that have been on ACX kind of playing around with audiobooks there, is you better make sure that author has sold books in the past, because you might do a 300-page audiobook on there and not make any money unless they have like if they're paying you a per finished hour of audio rate, that's great. But a lot of those rates are royalties, where you get a percentage of what the author sells, which means that you're not guaranteed to make any money at all. That's one of my biggest gripes about that ACX site. Now, it's not an awful thing just to get some experience, but that's one thing you need to kind of find out when you go through coaching. Is this, do I want to do audiobooks? Do I want to do theme park promos? Do I want to do animated characters and an explainer video? Or e-learning narration is also very popular as well. There's just a lot of narration work, documentary narration. I mean, the voiceover business is really, it's basically a galaxy of different planets, where you've got a genre on every planet: audiobook, promo, IVR prompts, e-learning, explainer video, you name it, commercial. It's an amazing business, and it's so much fun to be a part of. Somebody had a really good question that I actually caught down here. Or is it here? Oh, Keel Dunn's got a good question here. Would you say that commercial work would be easier to go with to get your feet wet before character audition? There's no real strict rule on this. Based on my experience, I always think it's a safe bet to try commercial work first, because you're going to get a little bit of everything. You're going to get serious commercials. You're going to get funny commercials. You're going to get hard sell authoritative commercials. And a lot of these commercials, you're also, technically playing a character in the commercial, especially if you're doing this weird, wacky Frito scoop one like we're doing tonight. I mean, that's basically the same thing as playing an animated character. So you not only get your feet wet, but you've got a lot of tentacles there, Rob.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I agree with you. That's what I was saying in the reply, is that a commercial gives you the opportunity to try a lot of different areas. Yeah, you may need to do a serious, tone for one spot, but yeah, you need to be animated like we were for the scoop spot. So it gives you an opportunity to play with different personalities, different emotions, and you learn the business. You learn how to work with clients, how to communicate with them, how to contract with them, and get all of that kind of I think it just happens easier with commercial stuff. It's more challenging to do character stuff specific because they're looking for, top tier talent or people that have a lot of experience. But commercial, you can find your way in just having a good voice. I mean, I always say it's not about having a good voice, but understanding the read. You can do that with a 30-second spot much easier than you can creating a character for an animation or a video game.
Very well said. Let's go to Susan Blakey. We'll have her do a script read for us. Susan, are you with us?
She's there. I see her hand raised. There she
Yes, I'm here.
Hello,
There
Susan.
she is.
Hello.
Susan, good evening. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good evening.
Would you, why don't you go ahead? Do you have the script?
Yes.
Okay, sounds great. Go ahead and give it a read, and then we'll give you some feedback.
Okay. All right. Warning. Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly, you're stacking salsa like a dare and winning. No cracks, no spills, just crunchy little champions doing the most. Frito scoops, the only chip that believes in you.
Not bad, not bad. The last line, the only the only chip that believes in you it just reminded me of like the Ghostbusters things. We're waiting for your call. It just reminded me of that line. A little too hard on that. A little too hard on you. But
Okay.
but there was good personality. It's about not just reading the words, but owning the words, because it has to sound like this is coming out of your head. Usually, the second you think it up, that's what it's supposed to sound like. This has a little bit more character behind it because they want, such a personality with the read. It's not just a narration thing. So, playing with the idea of what you're doing, I think make it a little bit more animated, but don't make it too super colorful with the words. I want to hear good energy, but not overly pushed or affected in any one way. All right.
Okay.
So try it one more time. Put a big smile on your face and sound like you're having fun through
Yeah,
this.
goofy, silly. Don't be afraid to do it as silly as you want, man. There's no limit really on how goofy this can sound.
Okay. All right. Okay. Warning. Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. Suddenly you're stacking salsa like a dare and winning. No cracks, no spills, just crunchy little champions doing the most. Frito scoops, the only chip that believes in you.
That was good. That was good. Now Terry's got me thinking.
I always wanted a chip to believe in me.
Terry's got me thinking the opposite of what he said. Now you were saying like really animated, be goofy, and then I'm thinking now go the opposite, dude. Ben Stein. Let me hear Ferris Bueller's Teacher. Frito scoops may cause overconfidence. But it would be hilarious as a read. I think it would be funny to do, especially as an audition. Do one where you're super animated, and then do one deadpan. And just show the client, hey, look, I can do everything. But I do like it goofier. I like it funnier. I think it's good. It's a great script for this. Good personality in it.
It really is. We got a question down here from Kenneth Butler. Is there a threat to the business with AI replacing people? The answer to that is no.
Here we go.
Where it is a threat, I'll tell you where it's a threat. Clients who are using AI services have really low budgets, and that's not really your target market anyway, to be quite honest with you. It's really the people on Fiverr who are charging ridiculously low rates. Those are the ones that are being threatened by AI services because now they have competition. It's these AI services that charge these lowball, ridiculously insulting rates for these AI voices. And let me tell you, AI voices can't do a live directed session. They can't do adjustments. And, I think at first, a lot of clients were kind of testing the waters. It's almost like buying a new plugin. If you're an audio engineer, you kind of want to see what it does. But to be quite honest with you, you can only go so long without true human connection. And Rob, we're seeing that in the business. We're seeing it kind of fizzle now, the AI stuff.
Yeah, I really think we're kind of hitting the top of the bell curve as far as the trend towards AI everything. I mean, you saw that Sora got pulled, and now what was it? Microsoft, they had heavily invested in AI everything for their next interface, are now going, maybe we don't need that much, and so I think the trend in interest in AI is giving way. Now I think AI does have some good uses. I think the kind of voiceover jobs that don't require a great deal of human interaction, the stand clear of the closing doors and for sales press 1 kind of jobs, those are going away or are already gone. But I think any business that cares about its product is doing so to reach out to a human being. And to reach out to a human being, you need another human being to do it. And that's just something that AI can't do.
I had, in the last 4 years, I had 2 e-learning clients that left me to try an AI service, and they both came back with very mediocre reviews. They both of them said they were glad they tried it. And honestly, I was glad they tried it. Hell, I was tempted to even try it. But a lot of clients who really care about their projects want to direct the talent during a live directed session, and AI can't do that either. So
that's a key thing.
Say about that.
Like I could send this Frito-Lay spot or this Frito Scoop spot to an AI voice, and it'll give me a voice. But if I said make it funnier or make it cheeky, how do you prompt that? You can't. And then you're going to spend an hour trying to figure out how to like phonetically write something out so that the AI pronounces a name right. No, you need a human. And in fact, I've gotten jobs specifically because I showed them how I could be better than AI by giving them a line, like each line 3 different ways. And showing them, hey, you want this personality or this personality? And that's not something AI could do. So I'm happy to take work away from AI jobs. That's no problem.
No, that's always a pleasure to do that.
Yeah, a pleasure.
But that's our candid experience. And Rob and I, we deal with a lot of talent agents and a lot of, advertising people and creative directors around the country. So we're always kind of hearing the scoops on all this stuff and different trends. So that's kind of that's kind of our thoughts about AI. It's like, it's definitely not going anywhere, but the sky isn't falling because of AI. That's for sure. Hey, we're going to do some more questions. Oh, can we mute the mics, please, for a minute? Everybody do me a favor and meet me at uvtcoaching.com and then look for the virtual VO lab page, uvtcoaching.com, whether you're on your laptop, mobile device, or desktop. I want you to come with me to that website to look at a couple of things. Now, for many years, I would get requests from people who were just starting out in voiceover who didn't necessarily want to invest in a big training program that was going to, cost them thousands and thousands of dollars. It's like, well, why don't you have like a monthly membership thing? And I was too stubborn to put one together for like 4 years. And then we finally did it. We did it as a group here at UVT. And we've put together what is an absolutely dynamite program called the Virtual VO Lab page, or membership, I should say. Has anybody ever paid like $60 or more for like one voiceover class? And, you show up the class and it's like pre-recorded and you already saw that content on somebody's mediocre YouTube video.
I've spent more than 60, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I've done it too. Well, for $30 a month, we give you like 3 live classes a month, script performance. We do audio editing classes. We do video game character development classes. You name it, 3 live classes a month for $30 a month. And they're all recordable. So even if you can't make every class, you get a copy of the recording. But with the membership, you'll also get a detailed training video every other week on a variety of different subjects that you'll see on this page of our website. And our students really love the script workouts and the script homework. And here's how the script homework works. I basically will send out a script. I'll give you some thorough direction in the copy, and then you go and record a couple takes. You email it to me, and then I give you some candid feedback, sort of like how Rob and I were giving people feedback during their reads in this class, but we'll kind of go back and forth virtually via email. And people have just improved immensely just from this exercise. I mean, Jim Berger's in the class. He might want to write something in the chat about the script homework. I know that he loves it. So it's 30 bucks a month to become a member of UVT Virtual, and we would love for you to sign up for it, because if you sign up tonight, you'll also get a couple bonuses here: a one-on-one voiceover coaching with either Rob or myself. I've completed, it took me like a year to do it, a 60-minute voiceover marketing course. You get that only if you sign up tonight. And then you'll also get, I put together kind of a VO plugin stack via Adobe Audition, where it's an effects rack that automatically enhances your audio. So if your audio sounds like just good, you're off to a good start, right? Well, this is only going to make it better. And it also worked like on Audacity and other DAWs that have similar plugins. It's basically my own plugin, but it's like a stack, if that makes sense. So hit the sign up button, join us, become a UVT Virtual VO Lab member. We actually have, and I don't think I've mentioned improv yet. We do a live improv class with John Haynes, who's an excellent improv actor and coach here in the Minneapolis area. He conducts one every other month, and that comes with the program as well. In fact, we've got an improv class coming up in a couple of weeks, and then we got our next script performance class already on the schedule for weeks. So if you sign up tonight, you'll be invited to those classes. And Rob, this is something that, yeah.
I'm sorry. There was one question that's just relevant to this. Adam was asking, what days, evenings, times are typically the regularly scheduled classes?
We do usually Wednesday or Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Central Time, or Saturday mornings at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And even if you have to miss a class, they're all recorded, and I always send out the recordings like a day later. So also, if you're a member for a month, and then you decide you hate me or the program, or you hate Rob, you can cancel it. It's against our religion to have long-term contracts, Rob.
It's the hate Rob clause that we've got that in the contract.
Yeah, you can just go month to month. I mean, if it doesn't work for you after a month, you can just cancel. But we'd like to encourage everybody in the class tonight to give it a try and sign up. Again, for those of you like Rob who have paid $70-$80 for one 30-minute live voiceover class that was not live, you get 3 live classes a month for $30 a month, plus all these goodies. Rob, I wish a program like this would have been around when we got started, because there just wasn't anything like that.
Absolutely. You had to know somebody who was a voice actor, and then ask them who their coach was, and try and find that person, and hopefully they were in your neighborhood. And no, I wish I had something like this. It would have saved a lot of struggles.
Let's do a quick last call for questions. Sean, is there any extra questions in the chat we should address?
Yeah, let's see. Margaret was asking a while ago, how do you get a UVT produced demo done for you?
We can do it here. You can write me, Terry, Terry, at uvtcoaching.com, and we can talk about it. I would recommend, though, if you don't have a ton of experience, you definitely want to start with some coaching, because the problem people have is when they go and rush to a demo without any training, guess what? They don't book, and they're going to end up redoing their demo in a few months. So, I mean, I'll definitely do demos if you've had some prior training, either with us or a different company, or you've had experience or you booked work, but it's definitely a good idea to get some coaching up front. And we do have bigger, packaged training. You can go to uvtcoaching.com and check those out as well. But again, if you're just getting started, this UVT Virtual VO Lab membership is just a really great way to get your feet wet and just to see if it's something that you really want to do. So I hope you sign up for it tonight. Sean, what else you got?
Lisa asked, do commercial work and animation require a union membership like SAG-AFTRA?
That's a great question. No, in fact, all genres are very friendly towards union voice actors and non-union voice actors. I'm a non-union voice actor. I just haven't really been tempted to join the union. For one, all my political work is union because I'm under the cap. And what I mean by that is you can do a certain number of SAG-AFTRA gigs per year without having to join the union. And I just haven't really, I mean, if I lived out in LA or New York, I might consider it. But you really don't want to, you don't want to start by joining the union. You definitely want to get your feet wet and get some small jobs up front. But even animated jobs, I mean, Sean, our friend Natalie, who you know, Natalie Hitzel, you know, a lot of her video game character work, she actually went right to the video game manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
It's
that
so
work
smart.
she's gotten via direct.
It's so smart. She avoided a whole chunk of the industry by going direct to the source. And yeah, it doesn't matter if you're union or not. What matters is the quality of the voice. That's why people join the union, or that's why people hire union talent, because they think it's going to be a higher caliber of voice. But I know plenty of non-union voice talent that have been non-union for decades and have a comfortable living. You know, it's and like you said, just because you're not in the union doesn't mean you can't audition and land those jobs. Eventually, the union will say, all right, you need to join us. But until then, you can steal as many jobs as you want.
Yeah, and your talent agent will let you know too. It's like, you know, you're booking a lot of work here. You might want to maybe consider, you know, getting your SAG after card. But there's definitely plenty of opportunity as a non-union voice actor. And yeah, that's a really great question. Sean, is there another one? We're just going to go a couple minutes overtime if that's cool with you guys.
There's not really there's one that just popped up that Rob was answering. Do you deal with Canadian VO work, or is this strictly like US work?
Well, that's a great question. And I forgot to mention this early, but when you're getting into voiceover, you want to think of yourself as a global voice actor, which means that you can work with anybody in the world. And I think a lot of people get, because it's kind of the way it used to be old school, people were too focused on their own market. I mean, I still get emails, you know, how do I get work in Minneapolis, or how do I get work in Kansas City? You know, think of yourself as bigger than that, because I mean, Rob, I know, has clients overseas. I've got a ton of e-learning narration clients in Europe, you know, and now you can record from the comfort of your own home, you know, send an MP3 to a client in Munich, Germany, and get paid via PayPal. I mean, that's a pretty cool thing.
It's kind of nice, especially when it happens like within a week.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it's quite the business. So even if you're not getting a lot of work locally, I mean, I get more VO work from out east than I do in my home state of Minnesota. You know, I book a little bit here, but all my work is from other areas of the country. Isn't that with you, Rob? Rob, you're kind of a flop in Austin, but globally you're a big globally you're a big hit.
I have one recurring client that I work with, a TV station that I work with all the time here in Austin. But yeah, I have a client a lot of clients on the West Coast. I think one on the East Coast. But yeah, I have one client in Austin that I work with. Flop. Come on.
I'm kidding. Flop. I'm a flop.
I'm a flop in Austin. I want that on a shirt. I'm a flop in Austin.
Oh, that would be a good one. Now you're gonna see a Facebook ad now with that t-shirt.
Oh,
right.
just because we're talking about it. Sean, do we have time for one more if you've got one in the chat?
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one. Matthew was just asking, are demos with audio and video necessary?
Demos with video aren't necessary. I think it's sometimes a smart way to go because you can put your demo on YouTube and there's something visual to go along with it. You know, you can use it on like Instagram and TikTok. So for your own personal marketing efforts, I think it's a great idea.
Absolutely.
But really, the audio version is really what talent agents and producers are going to request. and we didn't talk too much about this earlier, but definitely, unless you have a ton of voice acting experience and audio engineering experience, don't make the mistake by putting together your own demo. Somebody on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called now might have told you that was a good idea. Oh, don't spend the money on training, just put together your own demo. Well, talent agents can sniff out the bad demos in like 3 seconds flat. When somebody sends me a demo to review, I'll be able to tell within the first 5 seconds of the clip if they did it themselves. So if you're serious about moving the needle as a voice actor, whether it's, on a part-time or full-time basis, just make the investment, get training, get demos. You can't sell a house without a real estate license, and that wasn't cheap. So this is really just like any other business. What the hell? One more question. If we got one, Sean.
Well, sure. Yeah. Lisa was just asking. She's looking on the sign up page and didn't see any bonuses about one-on-one coaching. So I was going to respond about going to the homepage and looking for different.
Oh yeah, there's actually if you go to the virtual VO lab page, she might be on the regular training page where the big kahuna is listed and all that. Definitely go to the VO lab page because all the bonuses are listed kind of towards the bottom, right before the FAQ. So yeah, you do get a one-on-one voiceover coaching with either Rob, myself, Garnet, or Amy if you sign up tonight as well, because that's part of the bonus packages. But
and Lisa, if you're interested, in doing more one-on-one coaching, talk to Terry or me, and we can get that set up as well. We throw in the one-on-one coaching just as a nice feature in the UVT virtual stuff. But if you want to get serious about this and want to move yourself into this career, then definitely talk to us about one-on-one coaching, and we'll get you hooked up.
All right, awesome. All right, well, I think that is going to let me stop the screen share so we can say goodbye to everybody. All right, first of all, on behalf of Rob and Sean, thank you so much for taking time out of your Wednesday evening to join us. We certainly hope you enjoyed the intro to voiceover class. And definitely get sign up for virtual VO lab, $30 a month for a ton of live classes. These are not pre-recorded, they're live classes, and we want to see you in the members area. We got a couple of killer ones on the way, in the next couple of weeks. So Rob, thanks for being a part of it. It's this wouldn't be any fun without you here or you, Sean.
Thanks, man.
It's definitely always a better class when you guys are a part of it. And thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to everybody soon. If you were late, by the way, to the class, I did actually record this one, and I will send you the link to it tomorrow. So we'll see you in the members area. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again. We appreciate it very much.
Night, everybody.
Good